Good morning, students. I am Praveen Thakur here with your Standard 3 Grammar. Welcome back to our grammar class. Students, today I am going to continue with comparison of adjectives explanation. In the first video, we saw that there are three comparative degrees: positive, comparative, and superlative. In the second video, we saw the use of than and the. When we use than in comparative degree and the in superlative degree. So whenever we write a sentence, we say this is the fastest or this is the highest mountain in the world, this is the longest river in the world. And in comparative, then this is he is taller than me. We add er in most of the words. Now today I am going to explain you about three or more syllables. Syllables means vowels in a word. When there are three or more vowels in a word, we add more in comparative degree and most in superlative degree. Adjectives which have three or more syllables always form the comparative and superlative with more and the most. He is the most. We say like that. Now dangerous. More dangerous, the most dangerous. Now in dangerous, A, E, O, U, there are four vowels. So we add more in comparative degree and most in superlative degree. Difficult, I, U. There are two I in this and one U. So three vowels. So more difficult, most difficult. Let us see some more examples. In comparatives, use the word more to make the comparative form. Most two syllables adjectives which do not end in Y. Mary is more polite than Cindy. Now polite, O-I-E. There are three vowels. Tom is helpful. So E-U. There are two vowels, but it does not end with Y. So Tom is more helpful than Peter. So here we are using more because we are comparing between only two persons. So like I explained before also, comparative degree we use when we compare between two persons, two animals or two things. All adjectives with three syllables. Like Candy is more hard working. So O-I-A, in hard working there are three syllables. So we use more. Hard working than Maggie. So here you can see than we have used because we are comparing between two girls, Candy and Maggie. Joe is more good looking than Tom. So looking, double O and I. There are three vowels. So we are adding in comparative more than Tom. Again here comparison between two persons, Joe and Tom. Now let us see superlative degree. Use the, most. So we use more in comparative degree and most in superlative degree. The melon is the most expensive fruit. Now here you can see the example: mango 5, coconut 10, melon 30. So which is the most costly? Melon. So what we say? The melon is the most expensive fruit. Expensive means more costly. So mango is only 5, coconut and then melon is 30 rupees. So this is more costly. So we add out here the most expensive. Let us see some more examples. Careful. So A, E, U. Here you can see there are three vowels. A, E and then U. So in comparative we add more careful, and in superlative this is superlative, this is comparative, most careful. Boring, more boring, most boring. Famous, more famous, most famous. Exciting, more exciting, most exciting. Reliable, E, I, A, E, there are four vowels. So more reliable and most reliable. So here students, you have seen in these examples where we use more in comparative and when we use most in superlative, when there are three or more vowels. The comparatives and superlatives of these adjectives usually have three or more syllables and are formed by adding more and most. Ancient, A-I-E, three vowels, more ancient, most ancient. So this is comparative in more, and superlative we add most. Careful, A-E-U, again there are three vowels, more careful, most careful. Careless, more careless, most careless. Cheerful, most cheerful, more cheerful, most cheerful. Comfortable, more comfortable, most comfortable. Same way, beautiful. We say, we don't say beautifuler or beautifulest. We say she is more beautiful than her. That girl is the most beautiful girl in the class. Intelligent, that boy is intelligent. Positive degree, like if I say Ravi is intelligent. Rohan is more intelligent than Ravi. So here comparison between two, Ravi and Rohan. Then we say Rohit is the most intelligent. So comparison between more than two persons, so we use more, the most intelligent. Before superlative we add the, and comparative than. Helpful, the most helpful. Polite, the most polite boy in the class. Cheerful, she is the most cheerful girl in the class. Delicious, this is the most delicious food I have tasted. Popular, this film is the most popular film. Expensive, this ring is the most expensive ring. Interesting, the most interesting. More interesting in comparative, most interesting in superlative. This subject is interesting. This subject is more interesting. Like if I say grammar is interesting, maths is more interesting, English is the most interesting subject. So in interesting you can see I, E, E, I, four vowels. So when I said three or more vowels, we use more and most. Complete the sentences using more, most, less or least. So when we say more beautiful, so in comparative we say she is less beautiful. More interesting, comparative we use less interesting. Superlative we use least interesting. This is the least interesting subject, means very very less. So compare it, what is the positive of less? Little, less, least, L-E-A-S-T. So this is positive, comparative, and least is the superlative. So more, when we want to talk something about more interesting, less in comparative degree, superlative we add most, and in superlative we add least for less interesting. Roller coaster is more exciting than the carousel. Now how we know that we have to use more out here? Because the word out here is than. So like I said, we use than when we make comparison between, when we use the comparative degree. Sharks are more frightening than dolphins. Again than, so more frightening. This car is the, here you can see. So when the is there, that means we have to use the superlative degree, most or least. This car is the most expensive, or this car is the least expensive. I am the, again the, so this is superlative, this is comparative, this sentence is comparative because out here than is there. I am the most intelligent person in my classroom. PE is complicated than English. So out here than, so we know when than is given, so more or less. PE is less complicated than English or PE is more complicated than English. Art is the most exciting. Flowers are, again out here than, so this is comparative, are more beautiful than rocks. Health is the most important. Cats are, then it is out here underlined. So cats are less frightening than tigers, isn't it? Out here it will be less. Why? Because we know tigers are the most frightening. We can see them only in the cage, but cats we can see on the road, they are afraid of us and they run away. Music is dash complicated than history. Music is more complicated than history or less complicated than history. Soccer is the, so out here the, so this is superlative. Soccer is the most complicated sport. Soccer means football. So in British English we say football, in American English we say soccer. The amusement park is dash amazing than the national park. Again out here than. So in then we use comparative. The amusement park is more amazing or less amazing than the national park. So students, when then is there in a sentence we use comparative, and if the is there we use superlative. Then comes after the adjective and the comes before the adjective to give more meaning to the superlative degree. For example, health is the most important. Art is the most exciting. Subject you can say, I am the most intelligent. After this most we don't use the, we use before. The most, he is the fastest runner. She is the most beautiful girl. So these were some examples of more and most, when we use than and the, and how we use more and most. So just remember students, when three or more vowels are there in a word, we use more in comparative degree and most in superlative degree. So thank you students and take care.